Gameplay Dismay. This is when Gattaca's coming at you, and we're doing another DC Universe movie review for you. And we got Man of
DC, DCEU, CU? I don't know. How do
DCEU
you?
something or other. This
The
and
Snyderverse.
yeah, and we're doing Man of Steel from 2013, directed by Zack Snyder, and
Yep.
with
Well, Watchmen and 300 fame.
yeah,
Also, Sucker Punch. Let's never speak of it again.
Sucker Punch. Yeah, they had like two cool scenes, and then it was over. Uh, but yeah, Man of Steel. I guess quick overview and what you thought of the everything. Oh, full spoilers ahead. We're gonna be talking about all over this movie.
Spoilers incoming, like laser beams or eye beams.
Yeah,
No, if looks could kill, Superman did. um, first thing, okay, this is the randomly out of nowhere. Honestly, the first commercial I saw for Man of Steel was, I guess, back in 2012, and it looked like a goddamn Levi's commercial.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
like the very first promo I saw was him just wandering around and like being like artsy or like, you know what I mean? He was
floating around in slow mo, like a Levi's commercial.
yeah,
Yeah,
and he was in his hobo phase.
his
And there was
yeah,
some voiceover stuff going on.
a jeans commercial for sure. Yeah.
And so yeah, it's my first impression. So I didn't know what to make of it, and I guess it actually was, to be fair, it was kind of an effective campaign because it did pique my interest.
Yeah, I was all in.
'Cause
After the other one, I was like, whatever, let's go. Because the action scenes look cool in the trailer. I was like, okay. And they're doing Zod again, so I was like, maybe it'll be cool.
and we'd already had Superman Returns.
And that was a big
Which
whatever.
That was a big whatever. And then most of the actors involved in that are problematic now, or at least
Some of them are. I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know about that.
yeah. So yeah, they had my attention. Or
Zod.
you got my attention. Now you have my interest.
Yeah. And this
then-
is what?
And then we got the movie.
Oh yeah. And this is the beginning of their so-called DCEU or whatnot. Like
Right.
this.
And this is
2013, right? Like.
Yeah. So
And
after
the-
Avengers came out and raked in $1 billion, and they're like all the
Yeah.
money,
Yeah.
and there was that weird inflection point when everyone else was trying to build a cinematic universe, forgetting that Marvel had literally put in like 4 years of work at this point to get to the Avengers,
Yeah.
and trying to jumpstart their own within like a year and 2 movies.
Yeah. Well, did this even start as one, or did they just kind of make it become one? Like that's what I always felt like. I felt like did this? They set up the LexCorp truck part in the background, and then they like
The
throw
Wayne
in
Enterprises satellite.
yeah the Wayne Enterprise. So they did some world building, like, but it never paid off to anything because we never got another Superman movie. My whole thing with this movie, his whole escalation goes from 1 to 100. He's like, I just learned to fly and now I'm saving the world. And my hometown is here and all this other stuff. He never got to like be regular
It's my
Superman.
first day.
Yeah, it's my first day and I'm on the end mission of like Superman. He never got to like fight anything, like do anything so far. So far, like he gets his suit from the spaceship the day before they arrive or whatnot. And that's
Yeah.
what makes them arrive. The distress signal like activates and whatnot.
Yeah.
But well, but yeah, it all seems like, and the way even the action in this movie, like how he just throws the people through IHOPs, like it's all like very 0 to 100, and it doesn't make any sense other than just the flash of it, like
Yeah.
the flash and style of it, and that's like it doesn't really.
Right.
And the rest of the movie is like trying to be so like grounded and deep and humanity conversations and Kevin Costner, all that stupid crap. But
Oh, let's say about Kevin Costner. Well, actually, no, we got to talk about Kevin Costner's dad.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
one
that
of
whole
the two
that whole
Robin Hood
part,
dads.
that whole part, it's better than I remember that part where he dies, but that was the
That was
stupid.
worse.
Nah, I thought it played a little bit better because I'm like, okay, there's people around, they obviously saw him, but the whole situation, he's like he falls over the dog or like he trips over the car and he runs into a tornado, and it's like all he had to do was run in and grab him, and like everybody's already seen him lift school buses and whatever and all this other shit. And of all the times to do that type of thing, he does, like, because his dad tells him to, and it's like, no, man, be your own man and save your dad and let people know that, like, not let people know, but he could have done it in a, like, regular way. He could have just walked, like, he was just, like, strong-arming, like, past the storm, and then, like, quickly ran back. He had plenty of time. The whole scene was just, like, badly played out. I think.
Well, that's the least of his problems.
Just the timing and the framing. I was like, he could easily just run over there and get him. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? It doesn't make any sense other than the fact that this message that they're trying to make happen. But I agree with half of it. But it's still like, I don't know.
Nah,
it was just all silly.
I don't agree with any of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it from this perspective of, I think other people have said this, but I don't think Zack Snyder really gets Superman.
Yeah, he used them to blow buildings up.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, he's a Jesus figure for some reason. It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's the weird thing. I mean, if anything, he was, from what I understand of the source material, he was more like the tale of the immigrant's tale, you know? Just he comes in and he really wants to fit in and be part of the...
Yeah.
Fit into America.
Outsiders.
The American way.
Yeah.
He wants to fit in. He wants to be human, and that's the thing. I think one of the biggest things is that, like, I don't know even where to begin with this.
What are you talking about? Exactly.
Just the way Zack Snyder doesn't get Superman, where like he's so human, despite the fact that he's an alien, and that's kind of like the thing.
Yeah.
He's he really is like the Kansas farm boy, and he's got a certain optimistic streak to him, and he really wants to be.
They do say that. He's like, I grew up in Kansas, for Christ's sake. He's like, how much more American do you want me to be, or whatnot?
Yeah, he's lucky.
A farm boy.
He's lucky. He's lucky he's not hooked on meth or something.
Yeah. What if he grew up in New York? Holy crap.
That could be interesting. I mean, there's been zillions of what ifs.
Yeah.
Like, where if he landed somewhere else? I mean, notable ones being something like Red Sun or
that's
like that. Yeah, but the thing is, for dealing with our mainline Superman here, he landed in Kansas, and like, but there's the thing. The reason he's why he is because of the values he got from his parents, and his dad just gives him a whole bunch of a big bag of mixed messages.
Yeah.
Literally, he saves that bus full of kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his dad's like a little annoyed at him for like saving them, and then he asks him like, "What should I have done? Should I have let that bus full of? Should I let them all die?" And his dad he's like, "Maybe."
Yeah.
And it's like, Jesus Christ, what kind of horrible, fucked up message is that?
Yeah.
Just let the bus full of kids die because you're afraid someone might find you out. And you're like, you can't really be fucking expect me to take anything seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't take Paul Kent seriously as a character after that, just because that was like some of the worst, most effed up like advice.
And it's
like,
it's only
horrible.
And it's only written to help that other terrible scene where he dies. Like that's why they're both like interconnected in like how dumb it is. How dumb it is.
And here's the other thing. Okay, we're gonna talk about that scene where he dies, right?
Yeah.
A couple of things here. One, so apparently, I don't live in Tornado Alley, so I don't know, but I've been told that hiding under the underpass is one of the worst things you can do.
Why wouldn't they drive away? Why do they get out of their car and run? Why wouldn't they just drive?
Because you don't want to be in your car, and it's not a good idea to try to outrun a tornado.
What do you mean they literally got out of the car and tried to outrun the tornado?
No, they were trying to take shelter, but they did it in the worst possible way because
okay.
Hollywood folks don't know anything about living in Tornado Alley, apparently. And so what I've been told, I don't know how true this is, I'm not an expert or anything.
What does Twister say?
From what I've been told...
What does Bill Paxton say?
Bill Paxton seems to think you can follow a storm around in your F-150, which is great in 1992. But
6 or 7 or 8 or something like that.
Yeah, 98, whatever the hell that was.
Yeah.
The point I'm getting at is that, one, you don't hide under an underpass,
Uh-huh.
apparently, during a tornado attack. Apparently the thing to do is to find flat ground or a shallow depression like a ditch or something, lay flat, and hold on. And that's what I've been told. Like I said, I don't live in a tornado zone, so take that with a grain of salt. But
Get in the field.
hiding under an overpass is like the worst thing you can do because it just makes a wind tunnel.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah.
So that was really terrible, and they should know better since they all live in Kansas. And two,
Yeah, save your dad of all
Yeah.
the times. Come on, man. This is silly.
yeah,
And it's just to make him feel bad for the character. And it's like, you could have had his
Right.
dad die in any million other different ways. And it's all just like
Yeah.
his inner struggle of how do I save people without them knowing who I am? And it's like, his answer is just put on glasses. And it's like, it doesn't make a goddamn lick of sense.
yeah, it really doesn't. And here's the thing: he could have saved his dad. He could have walked over at regular speed and grabbed his dad,
Yeah.
and walked him back to the overpass, and then it would have been fine.
He could have held himself
Or-
down and be like, I just stood my ground against the wind, and then,
Mm-hmm.
got him out of the way. Or just
The other
ran
thing he
really
could've-
fast. And he's
And
faster
he's
than
like,
light.
"You guys-" No, is he in this version? We don't know.
No,
yet.
I meant like, wouldn't he just be like a blur or something if he went as
Right.
fast as he could? I don't know.
Maybe, and then he could tell people afterwards, "You guys don't know what you saw.
You saw the goddamn
It
wind.
was a tornado."
Yeah.
Yeah, you just saw some wind.
Yeah.
I was just trying to get my dad. I ran as fast as I could. It was all blurry. Are you sure you saw what you saw?
Yeah. Anyway, besides that terrible moment, what else did you think about the rest of the movie?
Well, hold on.
I don't wanna
Getting
dwell
back
on
to
it.
Paul
I don't wanna-
Kent's character.
Yeah, I don't want to dwell
I
on
do
that
want
one
to
part
dwell
too
on
much.
Paul Kent. I don't
Kent,
wanna
yeah,
dwell on
but
Paul
not that
Kent,
one
though.
part too much. Yeah, yeah.
No,
I could
just those
I
two
could rag on that
parts.
part all day.
So, two pieces of terrible advice. But here's the other thing. Then he goes on to try to tell his son that he's destined for greatness and that he can do great things.
Yeah, they're like,
And he's
get
gotta
ready
hide
for it.
himself
Yeah.
away.
He's like, get ready for it, boy. And it's like, what? You told him not to.
But don't help anybody.
Yeah.
Get ready for it. They're going to be afraid of you, but you're going to do great things.
Yeah.
It's such a mess of contradictory messages that
Yeah.
it's like Snyder does not get Paul Kent at all.
As
He
long as
really-
it sounds deep.
Right.
It just sounds deep,
I guess.
even though it's just ridiculous. Like, what the hell are you saying?
Yeah. All right. And then that's one dead. I mean, Martha seems to be in pretty good shape. Thankfully,
She didn't even
seems
have
to
an
be-
opinion on it. They didn't give her opinion on it, what he should do, which I thought was
Right.
interesting. Now watching it back again, she's just like, I love you, boy, which is fine, but she really didn't even weigh in on that type of situation, or at least not that I
Yeah.
can remember. It was only
Right.
his dad,
Yeah.
which I find interesting.
So yeah, Snyder apparently doesn't understand the Kent family.
Yeah,
Or you could make the argument he's trying to give a newer, darker version, but the whole
it
thing
is.
so
It is
inconsistent
trying to
doesn't
be
make any
new.
sense.
It is trying to be new and like flashy. They're like, Man of Steel wasn't that long ago. We're redoing it. Trying to compete with the Marvel movies, and this. It does really look, for this movie's credit. I love the action in this movie, and I like for how silly the destruction is. I like all of it, but just the action, the way they fight, the way they punch, the way he frames his shots. Like I like I like his action. Like he does good stuff. There's aspects
Oh,
of
yeah,
Zack
Snyder-
Snyder that I like a lot, but
Oh, there's no doubt about it. He knows how to direct action sequences, so you
This-
can tell what the hell's going on.
yeah,
Looking at you, Michael Bay.
yeah,
Jump cut 100.
or mostly everybody else. And he doesn't do slow-mo too much in this one, except there's a little too many close-up shots and way so much lens flare. I didn't realize how much lens flare is in this movie. I was like, why?
Taking notes from JJ.
I don't know. It's
He
it
saw,
looked
he
terrible.
saw Star Trek 2009 as
I
well.
couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't see what was going on because there's a big blue line across the whole goddamn screen. I'm like, this looks terrible. Who put this in movies? It's like, who covers up their movie in lens flare? It's ridiculous. But
JJ Abrams.
yeah, it's like half this movie. Anytime you see Superman flying, he's just a shadow. Like literally.
Yeah.
When he's flying across the mountains and he's flying across the whatever, those parts I don't really like. He's either way too close or he's like a tiny little dot blur. And he's like, yeah. But for the most part, really good.
Yeah.
Like hand-to-hand
Well, we're not even done
action,
with-
but him flying around was kind of iffy.
Yeah. He got there. He had a good learning to fly sequence. I like that.
I like that.
It's
Yeah, I like
great.
that. Learning his come to terms with his powers, like his senses
Yeah.
overload when his mom calming him down. That was a good scene, I thought.
Yeah. And that was a neat take on it. That was actually something
It's
interesting
controls.
because yeah, you got to learn how to control all your senses. And
That's part of the power.
yeah. So that was a neat little take on it. It's like one of the few things that got right, interesting. And he's like, yeah, learn to focus.
Yeah.
Or her mom's telling him like, learn to focus on the sound of my voice, and then you
Yeah.
can kind of.
That was cool.
He's lucky he didn't have ADHD as a child. He would have been in trouble.
And he's always the odd kid out because everybody's like, "What the hell's wrong with him? He can't play with the other
Yeah.
kids.
He
might-
accidentally break.
he
them.
might kill them." Yeah.
Um,
We were playing tag and I shoved him across town.
yeah.
That
Well,
makes
he'll
sense.
get to that later.
Yeah, and I did like. I guess him saving his dad part would be like he doesn't know the limit of his powers, so maybe he doesn't because he doesn't know how to fly yet, and he hasn't even started doing that kind of stuff. So that could be the stupid answer to that situation, or
But
he
like I
doesn't.
said, he could
He
just
doesn't
walk
know
real
how.
fast.
Yeah, or he can just hold his
He
ground,
just
not
speed
fly
walk,
away.
Whatever.
Yeah,
They established he knows how to use the heat vision at like when they were doing the whole sensory overload thing when he was like I guess 8.
he shot the handle
So yeah,
doorknob.
heat vision he's already got. Yeah, the flying comes later.
Yeah,
Um,
that's good. Yeah, good flying scene. That was good.
but yeah, so he's got some command of it. But
Learn
the
to
other
fly.
thing I forgot where I was going with this. Oh yeah, so the Papa Kent's messages are so contradictory that no wonder poor Clark's wandering around confused, not knowing what the hell to do.
I know, right? He's not helping at all.
I'm surprised he's not schizophrenic.
He is. He pretty much is this whole movie. Well, not really.
No, he's just a drifter, and then he
Yeah.
like helps people. But sometimes he's really petty, like that whole scene with the truck in the bar, where like the guy's harassing the waitress.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
It was fun.
At least he
It was
didn't
also
break
so-
him. He just
so
broke his
incredibly
job.
petty though.
And like, I mean, I guess he could have punched him. He could have broke him.
I mean, going back to say Superman 3,
I don't remember those too much. What
there was
happens?
Superman 2.
Tell me. Are you gonna attack me or what? I'm not even trying. You're just jumping away. In Superman 3, what happens? Tell me.
No, Superman 2 actually is what I'm
Superman
thinking
2,
of.
what happens?
He gets briefly depowered,
Oh yeah, I remember that part.
Uh,
Yeah.
and then he gets beat up by a trucker in a bar, or whatever. When
Yeah.
he does get repowered, he comes back to attack him.
Yeah.
But all he does is like sort of give him a little roughing up and throw him through a pinball machine.
Oh, cool.
And then he makes a joke about being pumping iron. I mean, that just felt a little more satisfactory and earned, but I don't know. I guess Superman's not above being sometimes just petty human dude.
He's human.
Yeah,
He's raised on Earth as such.
yeah, but like I said, given that he's got Papa Kent there, just being like a
Poison in his mind.
yeah. There's that going on. But then, see, speaking of fathers, his other dad is not much better.
Yeah, let's talk about the beginning here. We kind of jumped around, and there's the whole it's like to 20 minutes, 25-minute sequence on the whole Krypton blowing up. That's like a big chunk of the movie, like opening or whatnot. So I was like,
Yeah.
I don't remember it being that long, but I noticed it the second time. I was like, yeah, this is like 20, 25 minutes in this movie. Is this whole
Yeah.
opening crap? And there's like this bug dragon thing that he's flying, and then I don't understand how this planet could be so stupid to let their. I mean, I guess I don't know. We're kind of doing the same thing to ours, just let it blow up in front of your face and not realize, even though you got your two top people telling you to do it something else. But
No, if you want to get into that, I mean, we'll get into that separately. First, I want to talk about Kurt Russell, the other Robin Hood dad.
what?
Or
Kurt-
not Kurt Russell, what's his name? Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe? Yeah. It's like, what are you talking
Which
about?
also, if you think about it, is really a good bad guy name by itself.
Russell Crowe?
You will rue the day you crossed Russell Crowe.
Russell Feathers?
Anyway, no, I'm just joking around. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked there, but
Sure.
no, but his messaging is like also all over the place too. He's like you're destined for greatness. I'm gonna encode all the genetic information of the Kryptonians into your body and send you to somewhere where you can live.
I thought that was really weird. What's he supposed to do with that?
Krypton's second chance, but then he
No.
says there was no possible way of rebuilding Krypton. It's
What is-
kind of weird because
No, like he uploaded the data into the baby.
yeah,
And then what does the baby do with that
nothing.
information? Then how
Yeah,
is it
that's what I
saving
don't-
it? And how is it saving Krypton? By it being
Yeah.
inside Superman. And then he doesn't even mention of doing anything with it. Unless it's on the ship that he unless it's on the ship that he found that becomes his little ice cave house or whatever the hell it is. Solitude,
Yeah.
Fortress of Solitude.
Instructions unclear. Dick stuck in human.
Yeah, and it's like, you got the info in you, and they don't talk about the bad guys talk about extracting it and using it to rebuild the planet, but Superman never
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
He never mentioned. I don't remember him mentioning how do you extract, besides the bad guys' way of doing it. How do you save your people with that data inside you? What is his dad's plan
Yeah.
for that? It must be on the ship, dude. It's probably on the ship that he found. It's got to be on the.
It probably should be, but the fact that we don't have any information to back it up, you know,
Yeah.
we don't have any way of knowing that because they don't tell us or even really hint at it too much. Except
Yeah.
that when he comes back, he's like he was meant to be the bridge between two worlds. He's destined for greatness. We're sending him off. He's also kind of contradictory.
It's
He's
all
like,
just
"We can send you
buzzwords,
off."
man. I swear. Like it's just like it's his action. It's like that's his slow mo effect is in play here on the screenplay. It's just like, hold on, let me just slow some buzzwords down for everybody, and it'll all be flashy and pretty, and it'll all be fine. It's like, yeah, you're just saying a lot of like whatever, without it
Yeah, you're
even
saying
really
a lot of things,
making
but-
sense for the characters or what they're doing.
Yeah, that's what I couldn't get because it's like one, he's like we're gonna send him off Krypton to live and be whatchamacallit, I guess he has a fighting chance to live, and then it's like no, we meant you to do great things.
You're gonna save
And you're supposed to be-
Krypton by living
Yeah,
on Earth. That's his dad's plan. It's got to be in the ship, dude. He's got a whole ship with his dad, Ghost,
that's true.
and he
His ghost
drove.
dad.
Remember, he drove that away, and then they're like, at the end, oops, go to select new file. At the end, they're like, oh, they're sending drones after him and looking for him or whatnot.
So you're not gonna find me.
Yeah, you're not gonna find it.
So that's the thing. Yeah, it's just all confusing because at one point he says you're free to forge your own destiny. The next thing he says is I wanted you to be a bridge between Krypton and Earth. It's like, yeah, make up your mind, Robin Hood.
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw that, Robin.
Yeah, it wasn't that great.
Let me double check my notes here.
So you've got like just contradictory messaging on both sides from both his dads.
Oh yeah. So another question I had. Let me go through my notes here. Do you know if this is the same setup in the comics?
Not as far as I know.
I mean, I know the basic setup is the same, that he comes from Krypton and whatnot, but was he infused with their knowledge to rebuild it in some weird way or something like that? Or was it just on his ship with him, or like
Not
is
that
that
I'm aware of.
that's like new, right?
I mean, Yeah, it's something Snyder added in.
That's what they thought was gonna be
along with
cool?
the other thing. Yeah. Along with the whole atmosphere and thing, because they
Adjusting
like also
thing.
like
Which doesn't make
What was
goddamn
power
any
set?
sense. Yeah.
it's like he says at the beginning that the Earth radiation is different, your body will drink it, but then he's also so is the atmosphere. And then it gets really confusing when he gets kidnapped by the Kryptonians, because they're like he's not used to the Kryptonian atmosphere. But they're
But he's Superman.
also they have to adjust the Earth's atmosphere back to normal to get him back to strength, or
Yeah.
adjust the ship's atmosphere.
Yeah.
But then why are the Kryptonians strong? Because they're in spacesuits.
Yeah, I always just assume that they're still soaking up the rays. Because isn't that what it is?
But they're in suits. They're in black suits.
But they have helmets. The clear helmets.
I guess so.
I don't know. It is kind of silly. I was wondering that myself. I was like, yeah, I guess they're strong because Superman is strong, but yet they take off the helmet and they're like, I can't breathe. And it's like, well, aren't you strong? Shouldn't you be able to power through it? I don't know.
You would think, right?
I don't know how superpowers work. But that didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it really didn't.
It's all kind of, they were like trying to make it like different and cool and it does give an effect where it levels the ground for the fighting, I suppose, in a way. But like where Superman's not all powerful all the time, and neither are they. So I mean, I guess that's something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Also,
Crazy Skull arc. Oh, what's up with the population control and they want to kill the baby? He's like, you're hearsay or you're a terrorist or whatever because you had a baby, a miracle thing on your planet that you should be celebrating. Yet you want to destroy the baby because you can now rebuild the population of your planet. I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, well, to be fair, there's a whole lot to unpack or not understand. I mean, there's like it's such a mess.
I mean, well, come on, Snappy.
For one thing,
give me the quick hits.
The quick hits. One, they're like the destruction of Krypton doesn't make any goddamn sense. It's like they were a spacefaring race. They have phantom drives. They've solved energy. Why do they need to mine the planet's core? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
And of all the planets that they explored, why wouldn't they just go to one?
Yeah. Exactly. Well, that's the thing. They don't want to evacuate because the Kryptonian... The best I could tease out of it was that the Kryptonian leadership was so ossified and...
Yeah.
Just
I mean, they killed their planet.
They couldn't even think of doing something different just because that would have been...
It takes in rebel
it
takes a rebel, Russell Crowe, Kent, or Kal-El, or whatever his name is, to save the day. Yeah. It's a cute idiot planet.
I'm guessing because he's a scientist, he would have been a free thinker, more of a free thinker.
Yeah, he's like, I built the ship, and I built the drive, and I built all this other crap, or whatever.
And I knocked up my wife.
I designed. Yeah, he did everything.
He's Krypton's Renaissance man.
Yeah,
he's born at the end.
He saved him.
Or tried to, yeah.
And they're like,
that's the thing is that their society's so like stratified or rigid or
they're screwed. But I know that's the same in the comics. Their planet was doomed and they had to leave.
Yeah, but for different, better reasons.
Yeah.
It's like a natural disaster is one thing that you can't avoid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is like we blew ourselves up. I don't know what
we were stupid.
Yeah.
Which could just be a message to us, like in a weird way. That maybe that's that. Like, because we're making the same mistake with our planet, so we're like, don't be dumb like Krypton and destroy yourselves. Cause I could see that.
Possibly. But
yeah, punch him through the air. This is just like the movie. That's pretty cool. Yeah, another action part, action part that I really liked is when he punched him, and the camera followed him as it zoomed across, and then he punched him again, like further away, and then it zoomed across, and then it shows you like catching up with him as he's punching him far away. I like that shot. That was good stuff. And when the chick is just like jumping on jets and shit, this is fun. I thought. For how stupid it was, I mean, like, I had a good time.
Yeah, it's just when you start to think about it, they just start to fall apart.
It falls apart.
It really bugs me. It's like, so this is the other thing. Okay, so they're like, whatchamacallit, they don't, they have space travel, and Zod even says, we went to a bunch of other worlds, we found a terraforming device.
Yeah, they're ready for it.
It's like, yeah.
Why did
all these colonies dies?
Because they abandoned them, because they abandoned their thing. They're like, nah, we're just going to stay here on the planet and die instead of doing the thing that we set out to do.
No. The colonies. Why did all the colonies die?
Oh, they said they stopped getting supported because they gave up on them. They gave up on trying to find a new planet.
But they had like several colonies and terraforming devices.
Yeah, remember when Zod gets freed from the black hole prison or whatever the hell it was? Remember he's like, we went to all the terraform planets, the probe planets or whatever that they were trying to look for, and they said they're all abandoned because they stopped funding or sending resources to keep them going, or something where like so they're abandoned.
But why though?
Because Krypton's really stupid in every way.
I guess so, but that's not a really satisfactory or like even a good answer. It's just because everyone's an idiot. I can't.
Or is it because the planet blew up?
Well, no, because it won't affect the planet light years away, literally light years away. You know what I mean? You know, you know what would affect the planet light years away? A sun blowing up.
Yeah.
That would affect the planet several light years away. Not just a planet just imploding because idiots mined the core too hard.
Yeah. And you got your top scientist building warp drives, and he's like, "Hey, stop mining the drive." I mean, it does sound very similar to us. So I mean, that's probably the message there. I get it. I can find the parallel there, so that makes sense. They're like, "Don't be as stupid. Don't let us be as stupid as us." Pretty much.
Yeah.
Because that's literally what we're doing, and we're talking about how dumb Krypton is, and it's like literally what we're doing on our planet right now. So, I hear you. I hear you, Zack Snyder. All right.
To be fair, we're also building solar panels, though. I mean, there's that.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna blow up our planet. Like, well, we're gonna save it before that. But I could see how dumb people could get to that point. Like, not really, but I see what he's saying.
Yeah, it's a very generous interpretation.
The worst. Yeah, no. The another really terrible part of this movie I kind of like is so the guy's like, we caught the bad guys, and then your punishment is to save you from the planet that's about to die. And I was like, why are you sending them off to a planet to live out some crazy fake life cycle thing when you could just leave them where they are and they'll die with the planet with everybody else? Like,
well, two things.
Convenience for the plot?
No. This actually makes sense and it's consistent with the comics. One,
okay.
They don't believe Krypton's going to blow up anyway.
Oh, they're that stupid? What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're that stupid.
Oh no, it gets worse. It gets worse.
Yeah, it's getting worse.
Oh no.
Two, the Phantom Zone is not a nice place.
Aren't they in just icicles?
No, they're in the Phantom Zone, which is like another dimension apparently. And it's
well, they aren't dead.
They were sent there as a punishment. You know, it's not a happy place to be. They're kind of just stuck there like an exile aboard a ship in an unpleasant place.
But also,
no way home.
But also at the same time, he just killed Clark Kent, and the world is exploding around you, and yet their punishment is to leave the planet that is currently dying.
Well, the planet wasn't exploding around them yet.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because the lady dies in the next scene.
Right. And typically, I mean, in the comics, they did it better because they actually exiled, like Zod and his group, well before the event.
Okay, so this is all better in the comics.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, the typical chain of events is Zod's crimes committed before the birth of Kal-El, even.
Oh, okay.
Get him exiled to the Phantom Zone.
Yeah.
And then sometime later, like depending on which interpretation, months or even years, he's stuck in the Phantom Zone. They're just not having a good time there. You know, it's not a fun place to be.
Yeah. So are they out of the icicles?
Then Kellogg is born. Yeah.
Hold on. Are they out of the icicles? No, listen. Are they in the ship in the Phantom Zone? Are they stuck in the icicles, or are they free to roam the ship in the Phantom Zone?
You know what? I'm not sure.
That's what I don't get. Just minor detail I was wondering about. Go ahead.
Even if they're free to roam the ship, they're essentially imprisoned.
They're just in a room. I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, they're in prison. They're in jail. You know.
Yeah.
And that's what's terrible about it. You know, it's just a floating jail. They can't escape anywhere because they can't leave the ship because they'll die. Right?
Yeah. Except when
So
they
far,
have
so-
the tools to
Right.
reconfigure the ship to make a warp drive to leave. It's also silly.
Well, that's only because the destruction of Krypton.
Free them, I know.
Yeah, I mean,
And
that's
they
consistent with
used
the
the
comics.
scraps, and they said they went and traveled and built the thing from the scraps that they found from the other mining planets that were abandoned or whatnot.
Yeah.
I like that part actually. That was kind of cool. Besides them being conveniently off the planet as it dies, which I was just like, this is just stupid. But it
Yeah.
sounds like it's way better in the comics, so that's cool.
Yeah. Like I said, they were just in an orbital prison, pretty much, that then got
Yeah.
released because...
I just
The
thought it was funny
jailhouse
to
exploded.
send them off the planet as it was about to die, because that's what Kal-El died for. Like, that's why he died. Because of the dispute that they were having about the planet dying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. If anything else you want to say before I move on to Superman and his roaming around? I'm kind of going in chronological order of the movie here. His wandering around through the fisherman life.
The Kryptonian world building just doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. It's
Yeah.
that requires the Kryptonians to be massively idiotic
Mm-hmm.
in order to make any of this work.
Yeah.
And that just kind of doesn't sit right with me. It's like they had space travel, they had colony worlds, they had terraforming engines. It's like Zod found the terraforming engine on one of the colony worlds.
Yeah.
Why not use it there?
Funding.
Then you have a base from which you can go look for the codex. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just that's
And,
the last thing I'm gonna say. Zod is a fucking idiot. I mean,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
exemplified.
Yeah.
He like fails at everything he tries to do. He gets beat up by a he's a military general.
Yeah.
He gets beat up by a scientist.
True.
He tries to stage a coup. He gets thrown in jail and arrested.
Kind of sucks.
Yeah, I'm not. His soldiers are all better than him. He gets I guess leads them to find a place where they can live again, right? He
Mhm.
finds the codex, which is like his one success. Then he antagonizes the entire planet to try to get the codex.
Mm-hmm.
Then he loses the Kryptonian birthing chamber.
Sure did.
And then like gets himself killed by the son of the guy who kicked his ass the first time.
Yeah.
He's like just epic fail after epic fail, man. He's like
Yeah.
a nonsensical villain. He's practically twirling a mustache.
Yeah.
I mean, well, credit to Michael Shannon. He's a decent actor, and he did
Yeah,
a good
I like-
job with
I like
this
that
General
guy.
Zod there.
He's a good actor.
He was doing a lot of scenery chewing and a lot of good work though. He looked like he was trying at least, you know.
Yeah, he's trying.
And to his credit, he did the best with the ridiculousness he was given.
If the movie was better, he'd be fine, General Zod.
Yeah, if the movie was better,
Yeah.
that's our takeaway.
Yeah. But yeah. Well, okay, so when he was saving people from the oil rig on the fisherman boat,
Yeah.
was he just not aware of his skills yet? Because I think I realized that later when he's like going through the movie, like he doesn't know how to fly yet, and his dad's like lecturing him about test your limits, keep going. His real dad,
But don't show anyone because
no, his real dad. He says
I
keep.
wouldn't-
His real dad, the ghost Russell Crowe, was telling him, he's like, his memories about his lectures in the ship or whatever. He's like, you're gonna keep going or whatever, like keep testing yourself to see how far you can go or whatnot or something like that. So when he was learning to fly, he was like remembering this. I'm pretty sure it was Russell Crowe. It could have been Kevin Costner. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it was Russell Crowe dad. My two dads.
Yeah, my two Robin Hood dads.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, in the oil rig, he's just strong.
They are
He's
both
in
Robin
the
Hood. Yeah.
fire.
I didn't realize this what you were saying before. His Robin Hood dads. Yeah, that's funny.
It's pretty hilarious. But the thing is, I don't know if he knew, but like in the oil rig, he already knows they pretty much the fire can't hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
He can't.
Because I thought he could easily lift that thing up. Is what I was saying. Like, I guess he just didn't know his limit, his power limit yet.
His
Because
own
he's like,
strength yet.
he's like, ah. And I was like, couldn't he just throw that thing? I don't know.
He can later, but he was held back by his own self-doubt, which I blame Paul Kent on that. 'cause
Yeah,
he's
I
like,
blame his dad. Yeah.
hide yourself. But you're gonna do great things, but hide yourself. And it's
Yeah.
like, man, come on, make up your mind, you wacky.
Whack-a-madoo.
Yeah,
Uh.
wacky Kenson.
Yeah. Kenzinian? I don't know what they're called. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Kenzania.
Yeah. Cool. Adjusting to the powers. I think we mentioned that. Yeah, I like that part. What else do I got here? Oh, Chris Cornell when he was all all grunge for a minute there. They playing that Chris Cornell song. That was a good song.
Yeah.
It worked in the movie. I don't know.
Chris Cornell.
I miss Chris Cornell as well. So that stood out to me for a second. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, and I was like, oh, that was great. That's good stuff. They used it good. It fit the movie. It wasn't overly cheesy. I mean, I could see how people could think it would be cheesy, but it worked for me. I don't know why. Just because I like Chris Cornell. And it's all dark and rainy and flannel.
Yeah.
But
It's Seattle, Canada.
yeah. But I like his Ryu lifestyle. Is just roaming around, just taking jobs, saving people where he can, and then as soon as he does, he runs away and becomes a new person. Like, I like that aspect of it. Like, that's pretty cool. Just keeping a low profile, doing whatever, roaming the world, see the world, and save people at the same time. But yeah, any other thoughts on his roaming part?
No, it's all Paul Kent's fault on that, and
Yeah.
he's just so
Or the
he's so conflicted about it.
the petty bar scene part where he got his beard dumped on his head or whatever. But yeah, what do you think of Amy Adams as Lois Lane?
Well, Amy Adams is real pretty, but she's not Lois Lane.
Yeah, I didn't see her as not a good look. I didn't see her as Lois Lane. I don't know.
Maybe if they dyed her hair black.
Yeah.
That might have helped,
Not even like the hair color. She always seemed she was like trying to play like the tough-skinned reporter thing, but it didn't seem that she was that, like, I don't know. I mean, she is running through icicles. She's like, I showed up a day early. Like, I see like what they're trying to say, but it didn't play that well, I think. Her like tough side, her tough reporter demeanor that she's usually supposed to have. Like cutthroat or whatever, cutthroat reporter.
Yeah.
She was always kind of like, whatever. I'm gonna go to the other story and run it. Blah blah blah. Morpheus.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought they could have picked a better Lois Lane, and not a redhead. I don't know. What's wrong with black hair? I don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah. They're
Nothing against redheads or anything. But it's just like, I don't know, odd choice to change the color of the hair of the character. I don't know why. It's like, what if you just made what if you just made Superman blonde? Wouldn't people be like, what the hell? It's like a character identifier.
Yeah.
Or like
I'm kind of idly speculating. What if Amy Adams would have made a decent MJ? Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, back in the day, yeah. When they were, instead of Kristen Dunst.
Yeah, because like you said, they made her blonde. I mean, did she? I'm trying to remember those movies.
No, I think she just had a bad wig.
Bad wig or hair job or something.
Yeah, or hair dye. Pretty sure she's still red hair, but they got a blonde to play a redhead, which is weird.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, if Amy Adams had been around at that Raimi time,
yeah,
it could have been a different, interesting movie.
Oh yeah, so they. Okay, moving on to another point. Sorry, Lois Lane.
You know what I didn't like?
What?
I like Lawrence Fishburne. He's great. Right?
He's great. He's always the best.
But his Perry White is just like, I don't know.
Stale?
Yeah, he just kind of growls a lot, and it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm spoiled by the Great Caesar's ghost of the cartoonist in the TV show.
Yeah.
I just expected a more like animated Perry.
Yeah, that's what I meant by stale. He's just kind of like, Lois Lane, and then that's it.
Yeah.
That's like all he tells her the whole movie. Do your
Yeah.
job. Don't ruin the story. I ain't gonna ruin that. You're crazy.
To his credit, though, him and what's his name, the other guy, got to help that poor woman stuck in the rubble at the end. So
Yeah, I thought that was really
all
weird.
right.
I thought that here's my take on that scene, because that scene is all pivotal to Superman flying into the portal. Through the portal, his struggle, which is zoomed in way too close, you can't see what the hell's going on. When he's trying to fly through the portal to break it, the terraformer.
Yeah.
Instead of flashing to Lawrence Fishburne and this other guy, Lois Lane's coworkers that are barely involved in the movie, and they like flash.
Yeah, barely there.
They go back and forth between those two scenes, like the tension, like instead of having the tension be focused on the characters that haven't been involved in the movie at all so far, you switch it to tension between the other terraformer and and Lois Lane or whatever. So they're both doing it at the same time, which would have made more sense. Like because they're both doing the same thing at the same time. But so I was like, that's a weird, odd choice to. It just seemed like a waste of time because this movie's 2 hours 20 minutes or something like that, and I'm like, why are we focusing on these characters in the rubble? I'm like, there's like, I don't know, they weren't that important before, and now we're all of a sudden supposed to like a little crew of coworkers that we're like caring about. Nothing wrong with that, but if there was a little more build up in the movie, like it would have made more sense. It just kind of comes up out of nowhere. Like, okay, now we care about them. And instead of, like, the other main characters that are doing crazier things right now.
Yeah. So structurally, it was just kind of weird. It's like, yeah, they were there in the movie, so I guess you had to do something with them.
And focus with them, yeah. Focus on them.
I think he was trying to ratchet up the tension just because you've got the terraforming engine at one end of the world, the Kryptonians at the other end, and also the Metropolis getting blown up. So I guess he was trying to go across all three. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He needed a bigger like jump to between the tension moments, the final act, tension moments that were happening. I was like, and they're getting her out of rubble. And who are these people again? Oh, yeah. Lois Lane's coworkers. Oh, okay. I'm like, wait, what? But
we care about them because we spent a couple minutes with them in the movie earlier.
Yeah, we said hi to them. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird. Too much lens flare. Save your dad, and then the whole part where he goes to the church, and he's like, "I have to sacrifice myself to save the world," and then there's the Jesus stained glass window behind him, and I'm like, "Why are you doing this?" I'm like, "What is this in the comics? This like Christianity, Jesus, Superman is Jesus thing? Like, I mean, it would make sense. He could be Christian or Catholic. He's Kansas, American homegrown. That's not too far of a reach. But the whole like,
he might be a Methodist or something. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't like the whole. He's like he's Jesus now, and I'm like, why? Why are we making this comparison? like the whole what I was saying earlier, like 0 to 100. Like all of a sudden he's like can't do his powers, and now he's saving the whole world Jesus style, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. That's my first day. The world's gonna end.
He didn't get to adapt to Superman at all.
Yeah. And I guess that for some reason, whatever reason, that's what Snyder was going for reasons.
But I thought that was funny. I was like, what the hell is going on here, Zack Snyder? And the whole like Jesus Christ pose when he's floating out of the ship and stuff, which you see in a lot of movies, which is yeah. And I was like, what a weird way to fly out of the ship. And I'm like, oh, the Christian thing before it all makes sense. And I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
But
and the other thing is just like I've been on Earth 33 years, blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, I didn't catch that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is weird.
It's just
that's when he was crucified, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So Snyder just lacks anything resembling subtlety.
It's like the message symbol from I'm gonna get you. What is it? Don't be a menace. He's like message, Christianity, or Catholicism, or Catholics, or whatever. He's Jesus.
Yeah.
Don't forget he's Jesus, people. And I'm like, what? Okay.
remember Earth, you gotta accept Superman. Superman into your heart.
Yeah. It's
That's
like,
what I guess kind of happens.
it's like
Although
odd, odd choice.
when we get to the fights there, we'll talk about that too. Because this Superman is clearly a menace to
Yeah.
everything and everyone around him.
It's all very contrast and character traits here going on. Just like his dad. Spitting image of his dad.
He's just muddled.
Yeah. He's like, I have to save everybody from the school bus, but I also have to shoot this guy into 5 buildings and a 7-Eleven and an IHOP when I could easily just, fly away in the mountains. He knows enough to practice flying far away from everybody, but he doesn't know enough to, like, fight people away from everybody. Like, he didn't even try to go anywhere else.
Yeah. In fact, I mean, if we don't get too far ahead of ourselves here, but yeah, he, like, literally throws Zod through, well, first it's through a silo or whatever, so that's fine. It's just full of grain or whatever.
Yeah, it exploded.
Kansas just, yeah. Well, no, that was the trains. Which starts to get problematic.
No, the silo exploded, didn't it?
Yeah.
I thought it did.
He broke it.
I thought I saw fire. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Grains can be flammable, I think.
Yeah.
But he throws Zod through a gas station where people are getting gas.
Yeah, there's a lot of death going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of innocent casualties here, like especially when the terraformer starts going up and it lifts the whole ground up. There's a bunch of people in there floating up, and then it slams them all down. I was like, oh damn! I was like, I don't realize how graphic it was before.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then also the
well, that's on Zod. Like the Unleashing the World engine is on Zod, but
yeah, and
all
also
the other collateral damage is on Superman.
Yeah, and also even when the jets, I meant just in general, like collateral damage for people in general. Is when the jets are flying and he's like they're taking our rockets down when they're shooting our rockets and they're hitting the ground instead, and it shows people getting blown up in the street by the jet rockets. And I'm like, shit. I'm like, this movie's like rough on the civilian casualties here. On all ends, the military, Superman, and Zod, and all that stuff. Which is which is really weird. But I think that was just Zack Snyder just having too much fun with his toys. He's like, and I can throw him through a IHOP, and I can throw him through a series. Oh yeah, product placement in this movie is fucking fantastic. Because like Sears, IHOP, Nokia, whatever, it flashes all in front of you. Like, so I'm telling you all of them right now. LexCorp, Wayne.
Yeah.
Like, it's like it's 7-Eleven, gas station. Like, it's all there. I'm like, wow, they really got a lot of product placement in this movie.
Well, that's how you make these big budget Hollywood productions now.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with product placement.
Blow up the IHOP, damn it.
If you remember Casino Royale with Bond, it was pretty much just a big Sony commercial.
Yeah. Bond was saved by the new Sony Walkman or something.
Yeah, he used a Sony laptop to hack into a security system.
Oh yeah,
I think.
There you go.
So and then also the Avengers movie was a
Bond's
big
Sony
Acura. No, the Avengers movie was Acura, if I remember correctly. Because all the government types, all the shield types are running around Acura MDXs or something.
Yeah. But yeah,
so,
great
product placement is
great product placement in this movie. Great product placement.
Well, I liked it because I have been known to enjoy an IHOP omelet.
So, all right, awesome. Yeah.
So I mean that happened.
Word.
But so yeah, that doesn't really bother me anymore. I just like commercials. I learned to start tuning them out because otherwise madness results.
Yeah.
But yeah, where were we going with this? What were we talking about?
Oh, the damage that he was doing, collateral damage.
Yeah.
On all ends. Use your super on me. Use your super.
So collateral damage was like off the charts. It was like multiple 9/11s happening all on the same day because it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you get the battle in Smallville, which you can I can kind of give him a pass on that just because it's a really intense situation for him emotionally. Like Zod tried to threaten his mom, and then he's got to fight. He's got to fight a 2-on-1 fight against 2 inexplicably overpowered Kryptonians.
Yeah, and he leaves his mom with them too, which is really weird. I'm like, why isn't he more concerned about the group has with his mom?
Yeah.
He only went after Zod, and that was it. I don't know.
Well, I guess
that didn't make sense.
Zod was, yeah.
I mean, he's the leader,
Didn't
sure.
make a lot of sense.
Yeah, he's the leader, sure, but and like I like how the people that he brings with him like varies. It's like, why can't you just get all of them and then just overpower them? He's got like 10 people on a ship that aren't doing anything.
Yeah, like I said, Zod kind of sucks in this movie. He's a bit incompetent, and he's a bit whatchamacallit. Yeah, he's a bit incompetent.
Yeah,
and a bit nutty too. And this is what I'm getting at.
He's an extremist.
Yeah, it's like, I guess this is why Krypton failed, because look, he like finds the Codex. He finds Superman. He antagonizes the entire planet, and then starts terraforming it anyway. And it's like, why are you terraforming Earth? You could live as gods on Earth. You know this because Superman is pretty much invincible on Earth.
yeah. All
Why
they
would
had to
you
do
turn
is
it into a shittier
I don't know why
shittier place.
they just take their suits off, kill Superman, and then they have the whole world to themselves, and they could do whatever they want with superpowers.
Yeah, they run the place.
And they're they're afraid of a cough that you have to go through when he was a baby. Like he survived it when he was a baby. Why is he gonna kill you when you're an adult?
Yeah,
Doesn't make any goddamn
that's
sense.
what I'm saying. And the other thing is, you have a terraforming engine. You can go anywhere and terraform any planet. It's like, why are you gonna bother?
He's got a
trying to
vendetta
terraform-
against the dad. He's like, some scientist kicked my ass. I'm gonna kill his kid.
Yeah, like I said, so yeah, Zod is pretty much an idiot,
Yeah.
and that's what I don't like about that.
Yeah, that doesn't make any gosh darn sense.
You know what?
Why didn't just take your suit off and live as gods? Why are they terraforming the planet? I don't know.
It's because they want to rebuild Krypton, and like I said, just the only thing I think of is what you said. It's just a vendetta against hell,
Yeah.
and that's what he's doing.
I mean, he did say he was bred to be the savior of Krypton, and like no matter what. So I guess in the grand scheme of things,
the worst possible way. Like the worst of all possible ways. He picks like the worst option every single time.
That's why he lost.
Yeah.
Actually, he lost because Superman was just stronger than him. Because they just duked it out at the end.
Yeah. And then, but yeah, it's just so funky though.
It's all muddled. Let's see.
So,
What other parts can we get into?
Oh well, forgetting to. I mean, besides Zod being a moron.
Yeah.
Oh, the battle there. Okay, so I was trying to figure out why Superman had to fly all the way to the Indian Ocean
To what?
to stop the terraforming device that Supreme Idiot Zod set up.
What do you mean? Didn't he put it there?
Yeah, but why didn't he just punch out the one over Metropolis first? I was trying to figure that out.
Oh, that's bad writing.
Yeah. So the best I could do was.
Yeah, they sent Lois Lane and the general,
Yeah.
the Air Force general, to take care of Metropolis.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
So the best I could do was about. Well, no, not 350. It was no, this is what I was thinking about. So I was looking at it, and so
About
apparently
350.
the world engine, yeah, about 350 Earths.
About 350.
New Krypton.
Yeah.
Mm.
Go ahead.
Is so apparently it's because I guess the main component of the terraforming was the one over the Indian Ocean. So I guess he had to stop that first, because even if he stopped the first one, the one over Metropolis, he's got a bunch of angry Kryptonians to deal with. and the terraforming is still going on. So maybe, I guess that was the best I could do.
What do you mean? He did that
Well,
one first because they weren't guarding it?
I guess because it was unguarded, and because it was also, if you noticed, it was the one pumping out all the smoke.
What smoke?
Right.
What?
When they were trying the terraforming thing, it was the one pumping out the most
Oh, the energy, the terraform?
yeah, the smoke stuff or whatever it
Yeah.
was doing.
Yeah. Their atmosphere crap. Oh yeah,
So
let's... Yeah.
I guess so. But then something I just noticed, like, all right, so he manages to take it out by being all Jesus-y again.
Yeah.
um,
Jesus Christ, foes. More Chris Cornell.
he pulls an Independence Day and flies into the beam.
Yeah.
To punch
Randy
the,
Quaid style.
Yeah.
I'm pilot.
And like I said, I guess this is his first day, but it's like, can you just heat vision the thing?
Nah, he had to
Shoot
fly
your
through
I-beams
it.
at it?
He had to fly through it.
Shoot your I-beams at it?
I agree with flying through it.
Alright, yeah. It is a lot cooler looking.
I'll buy that for $1.
I'll buy that for $1. Yeah. So that's the best I could think of, but then my other question is, why didn't you just get the U.S. government to
Nuke
take
the hell out of it?
take a nuclear submarine and just throw a missile at it? I mean, I feel a nuke going off even like within a few miles of it would probably fuck it up a good deal.
Or at least some kind of bomb. There was only them. There was
Yeah.
like no other world involvement, which I didn't like. Like, this is a grand world scheme type of thing. They're literally telling you aliens exist. One of them's American and we need him. And then the world's not going crazy about it. And then they're
Yeah.
invading and they're like, I don't know. If they showed the U.S. like communicating with like more world leaders about what to do and what's going on, I would have liked that a little more.
Also, yeah, come to think of it, I'm pretty sure India has nukes. And
Yeah,
it
why?
was-
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's on a global scale. Like, I feel like there would be more interaction between all parties.
Right? There should be, right?
Yeah, or at least show a couple like scenes of dialogue in the background about it or something like that to show
And
that
also-
that it's there.
Where the hell was Wonder Woman? She not bothered?
And Batman. Batman's supposed to be Batman's supposed to be grizzled at this time because when we learn later, well, we won't talk about it, but like he's supposed to be already established in this universe, like old man at this
Yeah.
point. So that doesn't also that point doesn't make any sense. He would be
Yeah.
bat-winging the shit out of this whole thing. At least in
would
some
think, right?
capacity, yeah.
But you think Diana might want to, stop the terraforming, if only because her sisters are still in Themyscira?
Yeah.
And they might want to...
But that's what I was saying before. Like, I kind of think that they just thrusted this.
They kind of cobbled it together. And
Yeah,
it's just
they're like, take this Superman movie and then, okay, that was cool, and then we're just gonna add on top of that now because that was like good.
yeah,
and then they
we want
started.
that sweet Avengers money.
Yeah. So I feel like it was kind of like they just made it become a part of like a grander scheme of things. Obviously, if it was written the Marvel way, it like almost is. It kind of wants to be there, but it misses a lot of it to make sense. Like
Yeah.
they tried to connect
Yeah,
it
just
with
sort-
the Wayne satellite and the Luthor stuff, but they didn't have. I don't think that's what they had in mind when they were putting those seeds in there.
Yeah.
Like I don't think were they really thinking Jesse Eisenberg when they had the LexCorp truck in the back. I don't know.
I don't know, but let's not get into that because that's a whole other weedy
Yeah.
patch. We don't need to.
Yeah. Well, I
We
meant
don't
just in
venture
terms
into
of their
just yet.
their world building, like they had LexCorp and Wayne like established in this movie, but
Hey, they had
Yeah.
it in the old '90s Batman movies. Remember what's his name? One of them's like, was it Batman Forever or Batman and Robin?
oh really?
Where they mention Metropolis by name.
Oh cool, that's fun.
Yeah. But they just couldn't do the shared universe. In the
There was no
90s.
Superman at that time.
Yeah. But they just even the hint of teasing it out. I mean, it got called out in Wizard magazine, which just shows you how dated that reference is.
Oh cool.
Those movies are. Remember magazines?
Yeah, I love Wizard. They had their prediction
Yeah.
about the X-Men, and they were totally right about Professor X's Jean-Luc Picard. Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
They were like, who would be the X-Men if they made movies? I love those stuff from Wizard magazine. That was fun.
Yeah, they're dream casting.
Yeah, and that's why it's great. I'm all about comic movies because, we've been reading Wizard since back then. Those articles, and now we get to see it happening in a good way on the Marvel side. But yeah, it's fun. Another part on the ship with Amy Adams with the ghost dad. I thought it was kind of ridiculous that he gives her the key. Like, I don't know. Did he know that was gonna happen? I don't know, man. This whole movie's kind of weird.
Who knows? Yeah.
That seems
He's
like
sort of.
That seems like it was just written that way to be convenient for the plot.
Yeah. Plus, an excuse for Russell Crowe to just run around making hand gestures.
And have more screen time.
Yeah.
And give what?
They paid for him. They might as well use him.
Yeah. Hold on. I think we can use Ghost Rider some more. Ghost Robin Hood. And like Amy Adams gets to meet the dad and learn more about Superman and all that other crap. And he's like, "Yes, take care of my boy, please." Random human.
Yeah.
Take care of my boy. So I thought that was funny, and I did like how her pod got shut up when they're like when she was
re-entry,
when she was escaping, and she like punches through it, and then she shoots her, and then she's like shoots the pod as it's escaping, and it's all like about to crash land, and then he has to save Lois Lane, of course. I like that part.
Yep. Well, he always has to save Lois. That's
yeah.
So I think that Superman's like.
But that was a good setup.
I think
Just save Lois.
I think the order goes: save Lois, save dogs and trees, then save the world.
Learn more about your Kryptonian heritage, and then learn more about humanity, and then save the world.
Yeah, it's at like the bottom of the hierarchy. At least in this movie, it's like at the bottom of the hierarchy.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess anything else you want to talk about? Other parts leading before we go into the ending here.
Just like I said, confusing. The Kryptonians are confusing. Superman's dads are confusing. Superman's confusing. Also, apparently, a little trivia point. So that ship this is what bugs me. Okay, it's like they find the ship because no, they find Superman because Superman finds the ship and activates it with his USB key. Right. So he's unprepared for this. No, he would have been prepared for this if he had not listened to his dad and instead actually been, like
training,
learning how to be a hero.
Yeah.
Learning how to get along in the world, becoming a part of it instead of wandering off in isolation like a chump.
Hiding yourself.
Yeah.
Don't let them find out, but be prepared for great things.
Right. So maybe learned how to use and regulate his powers better, so that he would
That's why his real dad had to come in and tell him what's what. And then he's like, he immediately gets his suit, and then he learns to fly, and then he can bust through mountains and break the sound barrier and all that fun stuff. He needed his real pappy.
Yeah. Oh, and Zod's motivation again, he does it in the worst possible way. He's like, "Let me convince you, Superman, of my plan, and so to do that, I'm gonna put a vision in your head where you're swallowed up by a mountain of skulls or something." It's like,
yeah, the
worst possible PR, worst PR man.
Yeah,
he does everything in the worst possible way. It's just so ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's like, I need to save Krypton. Let me make an enemy of the one guy who can help me do that.
Yeah, you'd think he'd try to persuade him some more. Well, he does have that vendetta.
He's not a diplomat
against his dad. And the whole part where he's like, "I will find your boy. I will kill him. I will find your boy. I will kill him." It's like, why does he hate babies so much? I don't get it. Like, this is the saving grace of your planet, and you're damning it. It's like you should be celebrating the fact that your race can reproduce again, instead of like wanting to kill. And you're like, you're a freak against nature by having a natural baby.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about, guy?
He was just, he's just supremely jealous that Jor-El got some.
I guess so. The nerd beat me?
Yeah. Can't believe this nerd got some action before I did. But also, they did say something about considering it maybe heresy or abomination because they had their weird pre-programmed population control genetic.
That's where I was coming from. But I mean,
Matrix chamber.
yeah. But
I guess he really didn't like it.
But I thought that was because they couldn't reproduce anymore, right? That they control the population
it's
that way?
unclear.
I don't know.
It's unclear because it's so. They need to explore that a little bit.
Yeah. It's all kind of all over the place. All right, I guess.
Oh yeah, going back to the colonizing thing, it's like why are all the colonies dead? Because even on Earth, you send people to like America, and for a few years, it takes a lot of people coming from England to fill up America, or from Spain, or from France, to try to set up the colonies. But eventually they do work, and you got enough people, and you have a self-sustaining society. You know what I mean? Like the American colonies.
Yeah.
And it's not like the Kryptonians had any excuse. They had terraforming engines. So they could make any place to be just like Krypton. They shouldn't have a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We said that all that earlier.
Yeah, but they have no reason to fail so spectacularly. So I don't know what the deal is.
So yeah, I guess moving on to the ending here. He breaks through the IHOP. He breaks through the Sears. Oh, another one of my favorite parts of the whole movie is the Air Force general who's like, you kind of don't like him or whatever. He tries to he tries to fight the girl, my favorite girl in this movie who fights Superman, the black haired chick. And they do the combo moves on Superman, and just all her action scenes when she's beat people up is awesome to me. And
she's jumping around, beating up jet planes.
He pulls out the knife and he tries to fucking fight her with the knife, dude. And he's about to go in for a stab, and then Superman comes in and kills her or swoops her away or whatever. I was like, that dude's awesome. Yeah. He's like, he shoots all his bullets, his submachine gun, his pistol. He knows he's about to die, but he's gonna pull out his knife and try to take this person out anyway. I was like, that's some good fighting spirit right there.
She kind of respects him for it. She's like, a good death is some reward.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, he says that.
No, he says it back to her.
Oh,
after.
Okay. Oh yeah, later on. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good part.
He pulls out the because they're doing the mission on the plane to set up the black hole.
Where she didn't turn the pod all the way over so the stick couldn't go in.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird. Builds tension.
No, yeah, just...
You gotta screw in the screw, right? Otherwise, USB stick don't fit in.
Yeah, like every USB.
Yeah.
Well, or the old ones anyway. The new ones, USB-C, you can just plug right in, but the old ones had 3 sides.
It's gotta be plugged in correctly.
You have to flip it over again, then flip it back the first way, and then it fits.
Yeah. So I guess their big action scene at the end, after Amy Adams saves, they throw the helicopter at the other one, right? Is that what happens? How do they blow up the other one?
Which other one?
The other terraformer.
Well, they try to shoot it down.
The Amy Adams, they shoot the pod through it, his Superman pod. That's right.
They launch it at the Phantom Drive.
The Phantom Drive. That's what it is.
So the two Phantom Drives together make a black hole.
Yeah, and everybody's cool with that.
This is where shit gets silly.
Everybody's cool with that. Yeah.
Well, Dr. Hamilton is. Fun fact that Dr. Hamilton, I guess, he was in the comics too, but he used to work for Star Labs. But here he's just working for DARPA because I guess we don't have a Star Labs yet.
What is Star Labs?
That was a neat.
I threw a person.
Cool. Star Labs is like the advanced research think tank of the DC universe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They're like doing like humanity's most advanced scientific projects, partly because the supers are floating around.
Yeah.
They actually play a part in the Justice League cartoon too. Dr. Hamilton as well. Nice.
Well, that's fun. They're there.
He has, yeah. But we don't get Star Labs. We just get DARPA and Dr. Hamilton.
Yeah. I guess.
Too bad, but just neat little trivia. So they have these little nods to the characters, comic book characters, but some things just also don't make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, now here's where things get all funky. Is we're like, The Smallville fight was not terrible,
I liked it.
but that's what I'm saying. Like in terms of like human wreckage or casualties, I mean, you got the whole gas station blowing up. You're floating through storefronts. Or like a train gets thrown through like the sewers or whatever.
Yeah. And
Well,
that was his childhood friend, right? Who worked at the IHOP.
Yeah.
And he gets to see him. He gets to see him getting punched.
If you notice, he was a bully first, but then he was his friend later.
He saves him because he saved his life. Yeah.
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 And he was the manager of the IHOP.
Yeah.
Which is about what you'd expect from someone from Kansas, I guess. You know, you live in Smallville, get a good job working at the local restaurant.
Yeah.
Living your life.
I thought that was funny. He gets to see him. He's like, "Hey, Clark, this is what you're up to. This is what you're up to these days. I'm glad you spread your wings. Everybody knew you could fly, buddy."
Yeah. So there's that going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we kind of get a pass because it's a very heated moment for Superman. But then you get to he blows up the world engine in over the Indian Ocean.
Yeah.
And then things go all to hell. He comes back. They blow up the Kryptonian. No, they send the Kryptonians back to the black hole. But then Zod's floating around his pod.
Yeah, he escapes somehow.
This is where things start to get all weird because Zod has the Genesis chamber in his personal ship somehow.
What does that mean?
The thing that makes all the embryos, the Kryptonian babies, he wants to.
He took it. He took it, or what?
It was with him in his ship, wasn't it?
He's like,
if you kill me, you destroy New Krypton or whatever.
Oh, all of Krypton, yeah, all that's left of it or whatever. Even though it lives inside him anyway. Yeah.
Superman's like, Krypton had his chance, and then he blows up the Genesis chamber.
Yeah, yeah. I like that part.
It's like, what did you turn into a genocidal maniac? And I thought your dad wanted you to be the bridge between two worlds.
Yeah. It's all very bad. Very bad mixed messaging.
Let's just have you blow this up, fight Zod. And then here's where it gets even worse.
Krypton had its chance.
And now no more Krypton babies.
Yeah.
And then, although theoretically you've got Superman's got all the genetic information of Krypton in his body, so maybe he could make more Kryptonians later. Who the hell even knows?
Yeah. I'm waiting for the sequel still.
We didn't get a sequel.
I know. It's a shame.
BVS.
And he never gets to be regular Superman. That's what I don't like about this. Is like, after this and all the other movies, well, I won't talk about them too much, but it's like, it all gets even crazier. It's like, whoa.
But here's the thing. So
buddy.
From what I heard,
what an arc.
Snyder wanted a longer series of movies. He wanted like to do 3 or 4 movies or something, or more movies.
But money. Now.
Yes. Studios like, we need to make a new Avengers, so like, alright, you got Superman, now do Batman Superman, now do Justice League, and then we're gonna make all the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not quite, buddy.
They're like, what do you mean we own 3, 2, 1. Go ahead.
Okay, so Zod was able to scavenge a world engine and presumably other resources into from Krypton's colony world. So presumably Superman, if he needed to, could scavenge like another Genesis chamber from whatchamacallit, from Kryptonian colonies. I mean, assuming he could get a Kryptonian spaceship to work, well, he has one.
Yeah. Well, now he does. Well, he has a bunch of wreckage from the Krypton trips and stuff, right?
No, but he's got his own personal one, you know?
Oh, yeah. His Fortress of Solitude ship. Yeah. Which he took and hid away. That gave him his costume. Why is there a Superman costume on a scavenging a scout ship?
The good question. If
and
anything, it'd be
his dad's there because
uniform.
His dad's there because of the USB, right?
Yeah, his dad's in the USB.
Yeah, okay. That's
kinda
why
like
he's
Tron Legacy.
Yeah. And he's like, I build all these ships, so I'm interconnected to them. That's why I can control them and other crap like that.
Yeah. And like, from what I heard, this is all external, but it was like, apparently that might have been Supergirl's ship.
Whose ship?
Supergirl? Cause
she was supposed to be in there? Oh, because the scout ship?
Yeah, because they're also
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Kara.
That'd be
What's her
fun.
name? Kara.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Supergirl. That's a good connection.
Except she's dead now because it's so long ago.
Why?
They said the scout ship was like over 20,000 years old, right?
Oh yeah, they said it was like thousands of years old. Oh yeah, but not if she's in a pod. He just woke her up right now, and she's already
I don't know.
a teenager or something. I don't know.
I don't know, but that's like from an external source, so who knows how accurate that is.
Yeah, they probably wanted
They
to
just-
do that or something like that,
Yeah,
and they got all muddled after the next movie that
Right.
came after.
yeah, everything gets muddled in this cinematic universe. Is what
Yeah.
the impression I'm getting.
It seems like
Um,
the they took the template of this movie, like not making any damn sense, and they're like, okay, we'll just do that for the whole universe.
You know what? It
Sli-
looks cool though.
Yeah, it does. For the most part, it's visually pleasing. Yeah, but I like the action. I like the choreography. I like his cinematography. I like some of his directing. I don't like his. And Christopher Nolan did the story of this, not the screenplay, but he worked on the story, which is also kind of weird. And I'm like, well, he's usually better than this. So I'm like, how much did he really contribute to the story? I don't know, but he's attached to it for sure. His name pops up, story by Christopher Nolan, and other people.
Yeah, well, that's the
Um,
thing. You know, Nolan usually has really complex and tightly plotted scripts. So I'm saying I'm sure he had a bunch of good ideas. Snyder's like, okay,
Let me muck him up.
let me run with that without like thinking it through too much. If I were to venture a guess, I mean, I can't say for sure. I wasn't in the room there, but I'm like, imagine Christopher Nolan came up with a few notes. And he's like thinking about what would be a cool Superman story because there's some cool things that you could do in this story, right?
Yeah.
So you got the Kryptonians, you got Superman, you got the legacy of trying to build a new Krypton. You got crazy General Zod. I mean, you could have like some cool. There's cool things in here, right? There's
Mhm.
neat concepts, but then you got Snyder being Snyder,
Yeah.
and then
It's
everything just gets mucked about.
It's like, wouldn't this be cool? But it's like, yeah, man, but it wouldn't really make any sense. But it would be cool, right? And they're like, yeah, I guess.
I mean, like for example, like Zod's obsession with like Jor-El, like might have been a Snyder story, Christopher Nolan story note because sometimes his movies do deal with that kind of theme, like something like Memento or The Prestige. You know, it deals with these intense rivalries or missions that people are on. You know,
yeah.
like Memento, it's a guy. He's always all about trying to find out who killed his wife, right?
Hmm.
And then like The Prestige is this intense rivalry between two magicians.
And then so
And
Zod's
then,
like, I
like-
hate your baby.
Yeah,
that,
and
that,
Inception.
that general
is like-
baby rivalry.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and Inception
Was that
is
Nolan?
like,
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Is all about.
Yeah,
cops
Nolan. We don't have to
trying
go through
come
every
to-
Nolan movie.
No, I'm just
I-
saying.
I get your
he has,
point.
like- so I'm sure he had a couple story notes in there, but then Snyder's like, well, what if he's fighting in space, and then, but he's also Jesus, and then.
He Jesus Christ poses like at least 2 times in this
Yeah.
movie.
to
All
make
right,
sure
moving forward here. We got to go to the
final fight.
The
This is
final
where
fight
things
here.
get
He's
weird.
fighting Zod. He blew up the reactors, the terraformers. Doesn't make a lick
And
of
this
sense.
is where things get
Uh,
hinky.
Yeah, and then he fights everybody, and now he just has to destroy the whole city to prove that he wants to save everybody, that he's a good guy.
Right. I had to destroy the city to save it, apparently.
He's got no remorse.
But here's the thing, okay, here's where it starts to go off the rails. Because he lasers Zod's ship and then he flies it into a couple buildings. Like 3 buildings. He flies the ship through 3 buildings.
Yeah, he does. Purposefully.
And this is post 9/11. This, I mean, unless 9/11 didn't happen in this universe. It's like, what happens when you throw ships into buildings?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Plus, like, literally, like, little to no warning. It's like the...
The only thing I could say is that people ran away because the terraforming device has been on for so long, so they might be gone. But there's still everybody
Not
running
that
around.
long.
Lawrence Fishburne's still
Yeah,
running around the rubble, helping people. They're
yeah,
still in the thick of
not
it.
that long.
And they show Amy Adams watch them fighting, too. Oh, Lawrence Fisher
Yeah.
watches them fight, too. They watch the
Yeah.
ship, the satellite will crash down, land on, or whatnot.
Yeah, so it's not that long because Superman's pretty fast. He apparently can get to the Indian Ocean and back to Metropolis, literally opposite ends of the Earth, pretty quickly.
Yeah, he flies into space and goes back down. He's fast.
Yeah. So I mean, he's up there. So he flies this ship through a couple buildings, and then this fight happens. Oh no, Amy Adams. What's her face? Did you notice it was really weird? Like the black hole goes off and everything's like getting sucked into the black hole, but for some reason she's not. She's like falling out of the black hole where everything else is falling into it.
Yeah, she's
I mean,
lucky.
it looks really awesome. That doesn't make any goddamn
She
sense.
fell off the
Doesn't make-
back. She fell off the back of the plane. She fell backwards, not forwards into the
Yeah,
hole.
but stuff below her.
I know.
Stuff-
She's joking
it's
around.
just so like bizarre. It's like gravity doesn't work on her, or they're trying to make a fat joke at her expense because she's being pulled through the earth.
I don't know.
I don't know. So he has to come and pull her. Superman's trying to rescue her. He has to pull against the black hole while she was already falling away from it. Which doesn't. I don't know. It just struck me as like, well, it looks really awesome.
It wasn't.
But also
It
doesn't
didn't.
make
The
any-
gravity didn't hit that hard yet.
No, it did, because stuff around her was being pulled back into the black hole.
I know.
It's just so. It was just bizarre. Alright, so you've got several buildings down, and then the fight happens in the middle of the city. And they're like, oh, it's great. What's his name?
Blow up all these buildings.
Yeah,
I'm
blow up
gonna
all
throw
these
you through
buildings,
that building, and then that building, and then that building.
and you get some rubble, and you get some rubble.
Yeah, and there's
No,
one. There's
but like-
actually one scene where it shows all the people looking up, terrified, and I'm like, well, at least they have this one scene in here, because like that's how I would react too, because they show the people like looking
Yeah.
up, and they're like, ah, like in terror
Yeah.
as they're fighting
Yeah.
across the city, and I'm like, yeah, that's the natural reaction. It's like at least it's in there. It's in the movie. Like they do have the natural reaction. They're like, the characters in the movie
Yeah.
are reacting how we are reacting to it. So it's not non-existent. It's a little bit self-aware. I saw the terror in their faces as they're watching the gods fight among them.
Yeah. And that's the thing. They barely acknowledge it, but then, so not only does he like throw that ship through a couple buildings, and then it's like when he throws a LexCorp tanker at him, it looks real cool, but then he dodged the tanker. He threw Zod, was it Zod he was fighting at that point? Threw the tanker into another building and it blew up. It's like,
Yeah, right behind him.
it's like
He don't care.
You had to look cool dodging that, right, Clark? Okay.
Yeah. Like
It's
I was saying,
okay.
Snyder's like, but it looks cool, right? And they're like, yeah.
Yeah, Zack, it looks
Right,
great.
right. Yeah. That makes sense, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Then
so they're
just the
fighting around
fight
the
just-
city. Yeah, go ahead.
They go through several buildings, causing structural damage along the way, and it's just a mess. I don't know. There's been a couple articles of like just trying to estimate the amount of damage caused by
Unnecessary damage.
yeah, because like he takes them up to space at one point, and that's fine.
And then he brings them right
Okay.
to the exact same spot where they were fighting earlier, which I was
Yeah.
like, that's some pretty good aim.
Yeah,
Like to go out of the atmosphere and then come back exactly straight down the way you came. I mean, he is
he
Superman.
couldn't take him to the Sahara Desert, or
Yeah.
even the American Southwest,
Or any
or
other field.
Antarctica somewhere. I don't know. Yeah,
When he
back
shoots
to
him
Kansas.
back,
Who
when
knows?
he shoots him back down to Earth, yeah, just a little bit over to
It's
the
like-
left.
You go up to space and come back right back down where you were. And it's like, oh god, the collateral damage. It's like, no wonder everyone, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but no wonder everyone in Batman vs Superman is afraid of him.
Yeah,
At the beginning, anyway.
it's a fun play afterwards. Like it's a fun take on it, but I don't think it was
But
meant to
he's
be
not
that
the
way.
inspirational hero. I mean, that's the thing. He wants to help, but then the process of helping, he's fucking up things worse. It's like,
Yeah,
not worse, but I mean, he did save the world
yeah.
because he stopped a terraforming device.
That's why he's able to get away with it. He's like, look, man, I saved the world. I'll usher some of your buildings. You'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean,
And he doesn't like working with the
so-
military. He's like, whatever, you're not gonna find my
yeah,
house where I hang my cape or whatever. And he's like, look,
yeah,
I'm gonna work with you, but on my terms.
yeah,
He's like, I'll listen to you when I feel like it. It's like, that's not reassuring. You literally blew up half our town.
yeah,
Thanks, but be careful, a little more careful next time.
yeah. Please don't. It's like he's supposed to be like the symbol of like hope and
Yeah.
like even the symbol on his
They're
chest
like,
means hope.
after everybody finds out
More
what
like-
else is out there, they're like, no, please don't call Superman. Get Batman or Wonder Woman
Yeah.
or somebody that doesn't
Yeah.
blow up the city while they save it at the same time. They're like, no, don't call
Yeah.
Superman. No, please. Call somebody
Yeah.
else. Anybody else.
And then we're getting to the. What are your thoughts on the next snap? The next
I like
snap
that
heard
part.
around the fandom. I
Yeah.
didn't.
I mean, in
Next snap
context,
heard around the fandom.
in context of the scene and the characters and the emotion that he was supposed to be feeling, even though it's completely opposite to what he was doing 2 seconds earlier, I like that part.
Yeah.
If the movie was better
Well,
made, it would have been a fine. It would have been a fine scene if that struggle was better portrayed throughout the whole movie, but it wasn't because he clearly throwing people to gas stations. So like now he cares about
Yeah.
life or death, and especially
Yeah.
the most evil guy that just blew up millions of people or like thousands of people. Like I don't know why he's so upset about killing him. He seemed willing to kill the other people.
Yeah. I mean, they literally sucked all the other Kryptonians into a black hole, which is not even the Phantom Zone. That's straight up a death sentence. As far as I
Yeah,
know.
that's what I don't get. It's very contradictory on every level for everybody involved.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, mechanically, some things just don't work. Like, if I was him, I would have been yelling at that family, hit the deck. He's firing a laser beam 3 feet in the air.
Yeah, and I was looking
Hit
at that
the ground.
I was looking at the scene. I mean, they're freaking out. There's a guy shooting laser beams at him, and like there's rubble. There's rubble on the side that's like blocking them from running away. And I was like, if that laser beam is moving that slow, I would be running away from it, like at all costs. Like I would easily slide through that little opening and go away. But at the same time,
Yeah.
they're probably in shock because there's two gods fighting in front of them that are shooting laser beams
Yeah.
at them. I would be scared too. I'd be like, what the fuck is going on? Maybe they couldn't move out of fear. But
Yeah, but I would have yelled
but
at
yeah,
them.
I liked where he
Hit
stepped
the
in Zack. That was good.
Yeah.
Get it done.
'Cause-
He doesn't want to kill people, but he has to sometimes
Yeah.
when it's convenient for him to care about it.
Like I said, the whole build up to it is so contradictory. It's hard to tell where he's supposed to land on that.
Yeah. Thanks,
And like I
Costner.
said, just yeah, thanks a lot. Can't even do a Robin Hood with an English accent.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's just so. I don't know. It would have been more impactful if I guess if the build up had been better.
Yeah. And yeah, I guess we're going to the end of the movie here. He kills Zod, and that's it. And then he goes and gets a job at the Daily Bugle or the Daily Planet, and then
Yeah, the Daily Planet.
yeah, and he puts glasses on, and
Yeah.
he couldn't have thought of that 20 years ago or 10 years ago or something. If that's your only disguise stopping you from helping
Yeah.
people and not helping people, is putting some glasses on or off. It just seems weird.
Yeah. Well,
And
also, it's like,
imagine if he went to go save his dad, and then afterwards he just put some glasses on, and it'd be like, nah, it wasn't me.
yeah,
Like that's his solution at the end of the movie.
that's the solution.
Yeah. Some black frames.
But no, it's like comparing like the other Superman movies. Like, if you ever looked at how Christopher Reeve played like Kent and Superman.
Oh, the body language and all that other stuff. Yeah, you can clearly see
Yeah.
there's a body language change, physical acting, everything, personify changing. Like
Even
he's
his voice
supposed
changes.
he's supposed to be nerdy and he's supposed to be uptight and all that other stuff. And that's what I was saying. Like, he never gets to do that in this movie. He never gets to
Yeah.
be that version of Superman. He's the origin story. He's the finding out who he is, finding yourself, and then he's immediately shot into the end of saving the world, as opposed to like saving Smallville or saving some more buses, or maybe stopping like a natural threat on the Earth, like a Lex Luthor type or something like that, or whatever. I don't know. It just like, much like the DCEU in general, it's all just very rushed, and they're like, go, 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 go. We have to get there, even though half the fun is getting there, like in the first place.
Yeah.
And they, they don't give it time to breathe and soak it in. It's like, and now we're here. We're at the Avengers, and go. And it's like, well, the Superman didn't barely do anything. He's barely Superman yet.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, closing thought.
Bad because
Let's go into closing thoughts. And you feel bad what?
I feel bad for the Superman just because he like didn't have a chance.
They got the best guy to do it. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they got like Henry Cavill makes a pretty awesome Superman.
Yeah, he like is
didn't
Superman.
get to see how Clark Kent was.
Yeah.
But he like the great Superman. But like his character, like in the movie, is just like it's just such a mess leading up to it. Save people, don't save people. Let the bus full of kids die. Let the
blow up the buildings around you.
You're destined for greatness, but also don't tell anyone who you are because they're gonna be afraid of you. But you're a bridge between Krypton and Earth, but you're free to forge your own destiny.
Yeah.
Help people, but don't show anyone who you are. It's like it's just such a
poor mixed messages, a mixed message bag.
He threw origin story themes in a blender, and just like, all right.
Yeah, buzzwords. It's all flash.
Enjoy your superhero origin smoothie.
It was too sweet. It was too much. It was overfilled.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I guess let's get into closing thoughts here, and if you want to rate this sucker punch of a movie.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, closing thoughts. Like I said, everything's just so contradictory. It's just. I like the actor. I like the Superman. I hate all the character work around it. The villain was just like. It's kind of a joke of a villain. You think about it. I mean, he's so.
Could have been Gene Hackman.
Like I said. At least, I mean, yeah.
At least he's fun to watch. Well, I like the actor that played him. It was Shannon,
Yeah.
Michael Shannon. He's good. He is fun to watch.
Yeah, so
much like the Superman character, like there's nothing wrong with these actors. The only thing I would recast would be Amy Adams, and that's nothing against Amy Adams. It's just I feel like there could be a better Lois Lane out there, and like all the actors are perfect for the roles that they're playing. It's just it's all could have been done so much better.
Yeah.
Even Russell Crowe as his dad, like that was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you give him something to work with, I'm sure he could have.
Yeah, but go ahead, finish your closing thoughts and rating or whatever.
The thing is, yeah, it's just so muddled. Like, I wanted to like this, I really did. But yeah, like this cinematography, it wasn't as dark and gloomy as most of Snyder's other things. There were some nice colors, and even when he's out exploring, and it was fun when he's flying around the world. He learns how to fly. He's like, it's pretty awesome. He just takes a tour of the globe. They kind of did the echo of the sunrise shot from the original Superman movie. That was
yeah,
fun.
Yeah. Callbacks are good.
Yeah. So that was fun. And then, like I said, the action fights were fun to watch.
Yeah, that's the best part about this movie is just them punching superheroes punching each other. I can't fault the movie for that, but everything around it's pretty bad.
Yeah. So
it succeeds on that front as a superhero movie.
I'll rate this movie. Snyder had his chance.
Nice. Yeah, closing thoughts for me. Definitely very contradictory for all the characters and like what they're doing, why they're doing it. It doesn't make a lick of sense, but fun to watch nonetheless. I like how you're saying. I like the cinematography. I like the shots. I like the acting. If they just had a better story and a better screenplay, I felt like this movie could have done as good as the Wonder Woman one. But uh, yeah, like Henry Cavill, perfect cast as Superman. Even what's her name, Diane Lane? Uh, is that her name?
Yeah.
Is that her name? Yeah, as his mom was fine. Her small part was fine. Uh, Tin Cup was totally whatever. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I give it a 7 out of 10. Uh, it's still fun to watch. It's just like not a good movie.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch though, and it's like it just feels like one giant wasted opportunity for Superman to come back in a really great way. Because I didn't
Right.
like the other one, and that seemed like a setup for more franchise for Superman, but then it didn't go anywhere. And then we haven't had Superman since Christopher Reeve, and that's been like what was it, 80s? So like,
Yeah.
and he's the OG Superman hero, like movie superhero. That was like not crazy, not it was cheesy and stupid, but it was still enjoyable. Like everybody has a good time watching those movies. Um, and the special effects for
Also,
him getting him to fly on the movie, like that was
yeah.
great. Like the story behind that, just movie magic in general. Um,
Yeah.
uh, but yeah,
I'd say it was one of the first, if not the first, like really successful comic book movie, and then it would take
yeah,
a long time to replicate that. The
yeah,
next one being, of course, Batman.
yeah. And then
So yeah.
he totally missed the point here where the other one was felt like it was leading up to something where there was like his Superman's kid or some weird crap or whatever, where it was like a weird sequel to the originals or some weird shit. Um,
Yeah.
I don't. That was all kind of weird, but yeah, like so Superman's back. Great cast, great person, great effects. Everything's ready to go, and then they didn't make it happen. I was like, damn. They could have had Superman be
Everyone
really.
forgot.
Everybody could. Yeah, Superman could have been so awesome. And
Why is he here?
yeah, but yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10. I say I recommend it if you just want to see some good action in a superhero movie. If you don't really care if the movie's that great or not, uh, there's some aspects that are good about this movie, but few and far between. Still fun to watch in a weird way. Just I don't know why. When I put it, it looks cool. I don't know, but yeah. I just feel bad for Superman. It just had a really good chance here, and it missed the mark in like a lot of I don't know, almost every way for his
Yeah.
character. And I was like, damn, that sucks. Like the perfect Superman would be this one mixed with the Superman Returns that came out before it. Like some middle ground between there. I think we would have some really good Superman stuff going on. But
Yeah, I think so.
in this day and age. But yeah, that's my
Too
biggest
far.
flaw for it is just the missed opportunity for great Superman again.
Make
But yeah,
Superman great again.
but yeah, 7 out of 10. I recommend it if you like Superman. You want to see a good action movie. If you want to see a bad superhero movie, if you like Zack Snyder, watch it. If you like the DCU, if you're watching the DCU or whatever, watch this movie for sure. But yeah, if you're not really invested in all of this, you can totally skip it. Like, for real. But yeah. Yeah, any other close thoughts, or are you good?
Oh, well, you saw us playing Batman and Superman there, so that's next up on the review schedule. We're going to be talking about BVS
Yeah, Batman vs Superman's next.
next time. And the
Yeah.
Snyder train continues rolling on. This is all building up, of course. Riding that hype train to the Snyder Cut.
To the Snyder Cut, and I'll see what this guy can do. If all this hype is... That movie's beyond
Plowing
saving.
forward.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm very interested to see what he does with that movie. But,
Who can say?
yeah.
But this was the beginning of this, because chronologically it's not the first, but In terms of production, it was the first one made.
Yeah. So that's always fun.
It was this, then Batman vs Superman, then Wonder Woman.
Was it? What a weird lineup.
I,
They're all over the place.
I think so. Because yeah, Wonder Woman it was introduced in Batman vs Superman, and then she had her own movie, and then we got Justice League.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
So, but we discussed Wonder Woman first just because chronologically,
Yeah.
in terms of story, it takes place first. Both of them, actually.
Yeah. All right,
And
that's
now we're
gonna.
here
Yeah, now we're
modern
here.
day. Yeah.
So that's gonna do it for our gameplay dismay reviews for Man of Steel from 2013, directed by Zack Snyder, which is the start of all this DCU stuff, or their attempt at it. But yeah, we'll catch you guys next time with Batman vs Superman, and yeah, stay super, everybody.
Krypton.